Hello everyone. Every day we do so many things, from lifting a book to kicking a ball to playing with Play-Doh. Now these movements, when we kick a ball, how does the ball get kicked? When we lift a book, how does a book get lifted? When we play with clay, how does the shape of the clay get changed? Because we apply force on it. So our today's topic is force. Let's start. What is force? A push or a pull acting on an object which changes the direction, the velocity or the shape of an object is known as force. There are various types of force. The force cannot be seen, but the effects produced by force are visible. So first we are going to discuss the effects of force, then we are going to talk about different types of force. Effects of force. So mainly there are 5 effects of force. They are as follows. Number 1, force can put a stationary object in motion. Number 2, force can slow down or stop an object. Number 3, force can increase the speed of an object. Number 4, force can change the direction of an object. Number 5, force can change the shape of an object. So let's talk about them in greater detail. Force can put a stationary object in motion. A man uses a force to move a stationary lawn-mower. Some more examples of this are, for example, when a glass of water is kept on the table, we pull it towards ourselves. When something is kept on the table and we want it to go that side, we push it. These all are examples of how stationary objects are put in motion. Number 2, force can slow down or stop object. A goalkeeper uses a force to stop the ball moving and to prevent scoring a goal. More examples of this are when we are playing catch. We catch the ball to stop it. Number 3, a cyclist uses bigger force to pedal his bicycle and increase its speed. For example, the accelerator in the car does the same thing. When we press it, it indirectly helps us in increasing the speed of the car. Number 4, force can change the direction of an object. A footballer uses a force to change the direction of motion of a ball. More example of this is when we are playing cricket, the bowler hits the ball with greater force and the batter applies the force to change its direction. Number 5, force can change the shape of an object. A baker uses a force on his dough to shape it into a curry puff. More examples of this are when we play with clay, we can change shapes of objects such as sponge, silicone, clay, paper, cardboard, plastic, etc. So now we are going to talk about the various types of forces. But before that, do you know the international system? Unit for measuring force is called Newton. It is named after Isaac Newton. So there are different types of forces. Gravity force, tension force, spring force, magnetic force, buoyant force, electric force, applied force, frictional force, and normal force. So now we are going to talk about some of them in greater detail. Number 1, muscular force. The force exerted by our arms and legs to do some work is known as muscular force. We can use it to pull, lift, stretch or twist ourselves. We lift objects. This is also an example of muscular force. Wherever we use our hands or legs, it is known as muscular force. Simple machines are made for amplifying muscular force. Use of animals such as camel, bullocks, etc. also come in the use of muscular force. Number 2, gravitational force. The earth exerts a gravitational force around everything. The sun also exerts a gravitational force around all the planet. It keeps everything down. For example, whenever we throw something upwards, it always comes down. It is because of gravitational force. Number 3, magnetic force. force which attracts two or more magnetic objects together is known as magnetic force. The magnet is made up of poles, North Pole and South Pole. The like poles are going to repel and the opposite poles are going to attract. Magnet is also used for navigating directions. In case you have ever used a compass, you will see it always points towards the north. Frictional force. The force resisting motion is known as frictional force. For example, on a slide, when we want to go up, the force that brings us down is known as frictional force. Buoyant force. The force exerted by water when something is fully or partially immersed in it is known as buoyant force. It is also known as the upthrust. Buoyant force is divided into three parts. Neutral buoyancy, when an object is half immersed in water or partially immersed, it is known as neutral buoyancy. Positive buoyancy, when an object is floating, it has displaced more water than its weight, it is known as positive buoyancy. Negative buoyancy, when an object has displaced less water than its weight, it will sink. This is known as negative buoyancy. Electrostatic force. Electrostatic force is defined as the attractive as well as the repulsive force which is caused by charged electric particles. It is a force where it happens without any contact. The objects, they don't touch each other. Some examples of electrostatic force are nylon clothes. When nylon clothes rub against a piece of fabric or against the wearer's skin, they develop an electrostatic force on them. Comb. When we comb our hair, we unintentionally charge our comb, which then enables it to attract tiny particles such as paper, sparkles, etc. Party balloon trick. When we rub the balloon on our hair, it also develops a charged force inside it and it can attract small particles such as small pieces of paper, sparkles, etc. Hope you liked this information on force. Thank you and Jai Hind.